All right, I think camera's good. I can almost see the chat. I'll try my best. Hello, everybody. Morning, everybody. Maniac for Bricks. Now that I have your attention, I already saw the Lego Ideas dinosaur set. I gave a 20-second video. I just published it. So if you want to hear my thoughts and first impression, go there. Come back here. Won't take long. With that out of the way, let's move on. I know I'm going to get people asking about it anyways. That's just the nature of the thing. And YouTube won't share videos properly, so, you know, that's just how it goes. I'm just spitting straight facts. But I'm building some Lego Halloween sets for a display. I technically already built one. This is not actually a backlog set, but it's a good warm-up. I did build one either yesterday, the day before, something like that. It was a vampire set. I don't remember the set number, but you'll see it probably real soon in the display. I haven't found the Monster Fighter stuff yet, and I don't plan on putting everything hidden inside into it. Maybe all the ghosts, but probably not all of the builds themselves. That's might be too much. I'd probably put in, at minimum, the haunted high school. Maybe the graveyard. I'll have to think about it. So who we got? Let's start our roll call with a Wesley Meadows. Looking forward to seeing what you build. So this one is an older seasonal Halloween set. This is with a bat. I already had the pumpkin. For some reason they got separated, but pumpkin's already built. I just had to pull up the instructions because I didn't find the box and the instructions together. I know I have them around somewhere. But it's a rebuild. It's something I've already built before. I don't remember exactly how it all goes together, though. So I just got to find those instructions real quick. Get this one going. Lego Bat Seasonal Instructions. But yeah, the dinosaur set, to go in any further detail or any further impressions, definitely a vast improvement from what we've had before in ideas, but also because it's on a bigger budget. So I'm not going to say the Research Institute one is terrible. It's still good for what the size set is. This is a larger set and therefore can do more with it. Just like how the Jurassic Park gate is a larger set and it makes a really good dinosaur. You may not love it or hate it. You got to appreciate the dinosaur in that set. I love it. And it may be hard to get that across if you haven't seen it in person yet. Go to a Lego store. Most likely they'll have it on display. It's wonderful. It's so good to look at in person, which I think you get a lot more out of it there than if you were to try to see it elsewhere, like online or something. Just a picture of it doesn't do it enough. There we go. Halloween Bat 40090 is what we're building now. And what birds does my mom have? She has two parakeets. They're in the opposite room. Some of you might have already seen the Lego, what did I say? Lego Animal Display update, I think it was called. Something like that. This is within that room, the Bird Sanctuary, aka dining room. Bird Sanctuary, or the Lego Animal Display is actually behind me. This is a bat. It's an animal, but it's for Halloween, so it's not going to go there. Yeah. All right. We got this up. Let's get moving. I didn't want to do a live stream at some point, and I know that I owe people 2 sets for live stream building. Did a poll a while ago about what to build on a live stream, and people said that I should build the Destiny's Bounty. People said I should build the Bricklink set that I have. I do want to build those, but I also want to get stuff ready for Halloween. Now that we've got all the decorations out and decorated the house with anything not Lego, I want to put up the Lego decoration. Unfortunately, I haven't done a Halloween mock in a long time. I used to have a few Halloween things that I would put together, my own things, not just Lego sets. I did one year a haunted house, which I may have put a video on YouTube long time ago. So it's also not the best quality, but can't do anything about that now. Trying to think if I did any others. I think the rest of them were just like assorted sets that weren't even. I don't remember building a lot of mocks for it. I'd like to, and I've definitely swapped ideas with people about what kind of Halloween mocks would be cool to build. I think I even had an idea with someone at one point about a Halloween Friday the 13th as the whole Camp Crystal Lake. And being somebody that's went there, I definitely know this. So I would definitely have the layout of it figured out. But that's also a lot to ask for just a Halloween thing. That if that existed, it would have to be year round. And not specifically Friday the 13th. I feel like it would still work under what it normally is, a Boy Scout camp. Just have to get the campers involved and doing different activities. And it'd be pretty massive. So I don't even know how I'd build it and make it transportable. So there is that. I'm glad you like the sound. I'm never really sure where to record the live streams. Sometimes they're much closer to the birds, sometimes they're further away. I have them sometimes I do videos in another room and you can still hear them through the wall. So I don't know if that's a disturbance to anyone, but I'm glad you appreciate it, Wesley. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I sound nasally. I don't know if I have something. Oh, right in front of me, of course. They're all in front of me. I keep scanning my eyes back and forth for something that's not that far away. So I know it's double VIP points season. October usually is, or at least half of October usually is. I think it used to be whole month long. I haven't picked up anything yet from the Lego store this month. I do have plans for it though. Also, other people may or may not be here. Wow. Walk right away?
Yeah, just around the dead end there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
See, when I walked him last night, I didn't even cut through this like end of the street. I just went straight across and thought, oh, if I go down, towards what is it, Passaic? No. Central. Yeah, thank you. I got them confused. I was thinking if I just went straight down there, I usually know where he does his business, and he didn't do anything.
You know, there's so many factors with this guy.
Yeah.
He's very distracting. What's on my shoe here? I keep picking up rocks.
Oh.
I have thick spaces in the bottom of these sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, our driveway's turning to gravel.
That's true.
I got more pepperoni because that's your favorite.
He's ready for it.
Pick up a little bag of dog food. We're going to go through it fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was in, they had it in Walgreens. So I got some of this.
Oh, that piece is just missing. Okay.
You like our fish?
Oh, you got fish?
No.
You had me fooled. I was
Ceramic.
like, well, you got food or something there. I thought there was a fish.
No, I'm gonna put this water conditioner in,
But
and
hey,
I want to get.
It wouldn't surprise me if you just randomly picked up a fish.
I want to get some of those cool neon ones.
Ooh, yeah.
And then the frogs.
Well, yeah.
Assuming they're compatible. Tell me what this says.
That they can live in that water and they can coexist. Tap water conditioner, removes chlorine and chloramines, detoxifies heavy metals, high concentration. What part of this do you want me to read?
How much per gallon?
Okay. You just handed it to me and said, read this. I'm like, you start to finish?
Sorry.
I'll be here all day turning it around.
It's my day off. There's a lot to read.
Yeah. Add 1 milliliter for each 15 gallons of aquarium water.
All right, so I have 36. So
That's like 3 milliliters?
let me do the math.
Two or 3?
Three's too much.
15 goes into 36, like 2 something times.
Are you doing this for me?
What?
The calculation, or am I doing?
No, I already did it in my head. This I can do in my head.
Something times. I need something more exact.
Really? You want me to go exact? All right.
Yeah, well, I know. You know, it's yeah. You don't want to put too much.
Well, I was just gonna round it to 2.
So
It's not that much of it's not much of an underestimation. 36 divided by 15.
Oops.
See, I can do math like that, but I can't do 6 times 3 and 8 times 2 and always know what they are. I don't know why I confuse those all the time when I need to multiply them.
Oh.
I'm always like, oh, 6 times 3, that's 16, right? No.
7 times 4 is 28.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot there were pieces missing for this. I forgot I took those pieces out for something else and
2.4. So 2.4 times 1 milliliter.
yeah. 1 milliliter.
So
for every
2.4 milliliters.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That sounds right.
And what's up with this cap? Oh, it has measurements on it. Can you read them in the dark blue?
It's a 5 and a 10. Fun, yeah.
Does the other side have measurements?
And then the bottom just says 1.
Okay,
oh, there's like a little ridge in it. That's just 1.
Okay.
So you can work off of that, I guess.
Okay.
And no, the other side doesn't have anything.
Not going to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
How was that pepperoni? Yeah, it's good stuff. You know what pepperoni means.
Mm-hmm.
Cutie. I love when he's laying on the couch and I just go in and I say his name and his little tail.
Oh yeah.
Scooby! Like that.
Yep. Just like that.
Here's little face. I sent this to Dee this morning.
That's a good photo.
And it says "Live, Love, Woof" behind him.
Yep, perfect.
It's like, hi. When are you coming?
Morning.
So, don't get too stressed if you're not super productive today. You got a day off. You've been running.
Yeah.
And sometimes, some days just go like that. Like with the day I did this room, that was like not even really in plan.
You mean yesterday?
Day before.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like I said, it was kind of like, okay, I want to do the fish tank. You know what? I hate this wall.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's too busy now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
it was a good shuffle.
I think it was a good shuffle, and it wasn't that hard. Because then it's not, because the fish tank is so pretty, and you walk in and it's like, there it is. If it was in the corner, it would have been lost.
Right. It's an easy corner to lose. Thanks. And
the computer table, I'm glad that's gone because it was just, that's all I need for the printer.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping at some point to fit the printer and have enough space for one of our laptops. So that way, if we need to plug it in, it's right there, not sitting on our, lap.
Where'd you say there's a 1 ml?
It's on the bottom. It's like, there's this little ridge You can kind of see it there.
Oh, it filled that
Yeah.
little circle.
Yeah, if you fill that circle itself, that's one. I don't know. I've never seen that before in any measuring cup ever.
Okay. You know, the thing is, they didn't have what I wanted. And I think I have one in the garage if I kept it, but I might have tossed it. The thing about the chlorine in tap water is if you fill a bowl and you let it sit for a day or two, the chlorine actually evaporates out. Same as it's sitting here and it's filtering. You know, it's circulating. But I was like, I thought there'd be kind of like dust in the rocks or anything. It was crystal clear from the get-go. I'm like, oh, this looks great already. You know?
All right.
I don't think it was that good when I would do it in West Caldwell.
Oh, well, there's actually a bunch of pieces missing to this. At least the thing's mostly in black, so it's not a... Well, like I said, I was using them for something else. Not around October, I guess. And I never put those pieces back. So I just got to find them again and it's complete. But it's still gonna be a bat. It's just it's black on black. You're not even gonna notice it's missing.
Right. So, you know, when you think you have this big window, you really don't, because I have to leave. Yeah. I kind of have to really watch my time today because I have to wrap up by 4 for a consultation. Doggy dog! Oh, I gotta clean Louise. That's what I wanted to do before I left.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah Louise, because she stinks.
All right, we got the bat done for what we can do.
It's so hard for me now. You know, for all the years I've had trouble with it was mostly my left knee. It never hurt to kneel on it. Now my knees hurt to kneel.
Oh.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Plus, you know how much trouble I have getting up off the floor and stuff. Or even out of a chair or toilet seat. It's like ridiculous. Like, oh my God, I'm stuck in the bathroom.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Somebody help me. This box is catching a lot of seasoned feathers.
So to play some catch up with you guys. Hi. I said my mom might have been in the picture, but yeah, we've been moving a couple things around the dining room, which is also how we got the animal display rearranged. So it's still a bird sanctuary. We had an aquarium in here for a while and just need to fix that up. And let me see if I can catch up on the chat real quick. Looking forward to seeing your review and inside. I'm very sorry I haven't put out that review yet. It's been a while since I built them.
I should probably bring lunch too. So we're gonna run it all day.
Yeah.
Better not empty. But what to bring in Florida? Healing. Hi, Louise! You have to clean that cage. The drill. I don't know why you're not in your head.
Yeah. That's very true about the tap water. And all right. Next set we go. Scooby also needs. Scooby needs his nails cut as well.
Hey, Scooby. Hey.
walks away from it. Come on, Scooby.
Oh.
There we go. Now he's at it. Oh, and then he immediately stopped.
She's in the box now.
Why do you keep doing that? Why do you just keep walking away? You love this bone. Is there more squeakers in this thing? There's like 3 or 4 squeakers. I keep finding a new one every day. Every time, running back around.
So yesterday, did I tell you how I saw Poppy fell?
You thought?
Yeah, because he came up for dinner. He fixes himself a plate and he says, well, it's the 4th inning.
Okay.
So he takes the plate that he's going to eat downstairs. So he's not in my sight exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting at the table. And he kind of cursed. And then I thought I heard the plate go flying. And I'm like, before I could get up, I'm like, are you okay? And then he was standing down by the washer, and he says, my pants were falling down.
Okay.
As he's going down the steps. So I said, did you lose the food? Yeah. First I was just like, you were right, whatever. And he's like, he just kind of slammed it because he was pissed off onto the washer plate. So that's like what I heard. So he's like, no. And I said, Dad, pants are loose. This is where I want to eat more because he was bitching about I made too much chicken. I'm like, this is the chicken you left out for me. Like I'm not going to save some scrawny little one fucking piece of raw chicken. Cooking it. Yeah. And I'm hoping like we'll all eat it. Always saving something and he's always getting pissed off. And I'm just like, I should be getting pissed off because you should be eating it. This is not an excessive amount of food I'm putting on the table.
It's a better option than trying to, get some new pants.
Well, Donna was just like, let's get him new pants and a belt. I mean, you know what? We're not going to put any meat on these people. I have come to that conclusion. They're on a freaking maintenance diet at best, and at worst, they just keep losing because, they eat and they sell. I can't do anything without it.
Yeah.
And I just hope that Cindy and company, they were all there supposedly on the weekend. And I'm like, this can't be good. Because they are overly active and super critical. And I'm not saying things are great there.
Right.
They're not. But there's really not a solution. It is what it is.
Right.
And I am, keeping them away from the stove, and the oven, because they're both stinky, which means they could get burnt, or drop something, or worse, that was way too much, but it was like it. And as far as cleaning, the place is clean enough. It could be better as far as the bath. I mean, I really have to get in there with rubber gloves and some really good thing and like, a I just, I could stick around a lot of nights longer. And, did I get that? Water, food? Yeah. But I'm tired. I want to go home too,
Right.
A lot of nights I'd be dashing out of there at 5:45 to go to a sleepover.
Right. Well, that's the same thing I have with Brainiacs. I'd love to get more time after these classes because the kids are always unorganized, and I need to source them. But there's no time to do that because they're supposed to be closed right after class. And even yesterday, the secretary that was still there was like, I gotta drive 40 minutes to get home, so if we can wrap up as soon as possible. And I'm like, okay.
I know you.
Because I know that.
Was
Because
funny.
I know
you
that.
easily made the beginning of the show.
I
It
know
didn't go
that-
on till 8:15.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be.
Well, his doors
Right
open
away.
at 7, but
Well, you said it might have started at 7:30.
well, that's what I assumed, but I was wrong.
I didn't even know how far away I'd be.
No, it's fine.
It was a Fleetwood Mac cover concert. My mom had tickets for last night, but kind of spur of the moment. So I didn't think I was gonna make it. Yep.
You hand me a hammer, a good one,
Okay.
not the little faulty hammer, the other one.
The yellow.
Yeah, there's one.
Oh, there's another hammer. Oh. I haven't seen this one before. But it's a good hammer. Oh, yeah. Well, it's good that we know what's up on that side.
I just don't want the stair to flip out. Feel it when you go down the steps?
Well, I do.
I'll be
I
the
just
one.
don't know how much I'm going to save it. Well, that was about to split the wood. Yeah. And there's and one of them still has a flip, right? One of them still has a flip. Right. So it's funny that the energy is that like, oh, it was something such years ago. We go back to the West. I just learned that they're not married. I didn't really know that. And the ceremony itself was, but still pretty good. No.
Someone beat you with a hammer
No,
here.
don't fuck the street.
Okay. I'm like,
I should just show him.
what?
I should just show him a picture of a dog inside and then see what happens.
Did I tell you how he barks at the dog on
Literally
TV?
just
I'm
any
like,
dog.
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And I had a dog that did that. Here you go. I need to try these on. I'm gonna need these later, Scoobert. Let me make sure they fit me. They're not galoshes though. You know what galoshes are?
I've heard of galoshes.
When you have
And I've
they
heard of
go
goulash,
around your
and I don't know
shoe.
what the difference is.
Goulash you eat. And goulash. Oh, they're perfect. Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
I still have to return your jacket at Target.
Oh, right, the first jacket. Yeah, even though that other one is like a size bigger, it fits just fine.
You know, yeah, it's nice to have room, and then you can have a heavier shirt. You know, if it's really cold, like you could get away with it for a while with the cold weather without the big, you know, winter coat if you wanted.
Hey, I kind of like this. Yeah, I forgot that I had it around.
Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Of course I need a scissor. Pest. Oh, awesome.
I have them right here.
Joey on the spot.
I'll look up the instructions for this one.
Yeah, between the raincoat and these boots, this outfit really should get me some tips. Like, okay, this chick really is going the extra mile to stay dry.
Yeah.
Need a nice sized shoebox.
Eventually. Actually, yeah, go figure. I'm gonna use one for shoes. Cause
Oh, for like under your bed and then
Yeah,
put the cover
yeah.
on and then they'll stay less dusty.
mm-hmm.
All right, I got.
Cause I already have the other shoes I got recently. Kept those in the shoe box. Cause I keep forgetting. Oh yeah, there's space under the bed I can use, and not a bad spot for these. So guess I'll do that.
Well, you got food here.
There is food.
There's candy. All up here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I saw the bag the other day.
What is in this?
Brought in.
Oh, garlic bread. Yeah, if you want some of that garlic bread.
Mm-hmm.
Yourself, just don't over.
Yeah, to keep the vampires away, you know. Okay. Got this built without the instructions. Just needed one picture. Now, if only you could stand up. There we go. Is that your timer? That's on the phone?
Yeah.
It's weird how it like starts beeping and then gets like increasingly louder.
Well, when you don't shut it off, I guess it says, hello. You're late. Yowza. Alrighty.
Oh, lovely.
That cat in the nursing home,
Yeah.
she's getting worse, the lady. She's like, no.
The cat or the lady?
The lady.
Oh.
She's not feeding it.
Oh, okay.
She's either got 2 bowls of water, which should be water and food, or she's got 1 bowl of water and I can't even find the other bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I just put it in the notes, like, okay, how to feed Bradley, because that's actually not part of my job.
Yeah.
You know, but they know, you know. Then she has this glass canister, and it's got some cat food in it,
Mm-hmm.
and she had 3 chocolate covered pretzels in there with it. I'm like, okay, this is not good.
Yeah. So I have 2 things I could say right now, and I don't know which one I want to choose. I could either say, "Hiya, Georgie," or "Can you swim?"
Who's Hiya Georgie?
It.
Oh,
You know,
don't know that
like-
movie. Never watched
well,
it.
you never saw even like the original Tim Curry.
Parts of it. It's so
Oh.
friggin' long.
Oh, okay.
I got bored with it.
That's true.
Okay, hi Georgie. Can you swim? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to at least get the second one.
Alright, well, Spooker's in good shape. Good luck today.
Thanks.
I won't be home till after 6.
All right
I'm
then.
gonna go straight from the consultation to Poppy's,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll be home.
Okay, doke.
So unless something gets canceled, you won't see me.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
Don't put any more shit in Deanna's room.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
My hope is to clear enough that I can take stuff out of her room.
I want to hang up her clothes, and because I fixed her bed nice, I straightened that corner a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So don't make it worse.
Yeah.
You don't have that much in there, but
That's not. Yeah, I've been weeding it out.
okay. See ya.
See ya. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm talking with you now on the stream. And yeah, I didn't know how I was gonna keep up with the chat while talking with my mom at home. That's just not gonna happen. But yeah, so we built the Beetlejuice without instructions. I was gonna look them up, and I was like, oh, this picture is just enough for me to build it as it is. Dimensions. That is one thing I will say was kind of a no-go. Is the fact that they didn't include instructions in the box. You know, I get that it's to encourage that you're playing the game as well in order to build it, but there are some of these that are still available every so often in stores. Even at the time that they were released, they were in places like Five Below, where you're not going to find the starter pack until later. They eventually put them in Five Below. I've seen them a few times, but that was after the game was canceled, after the game already, discontinued. So it didn't really help building it if you didn't have the instructions with it. Or even like what, the loot crate? They included 1 or 2 of them. Again, kind of estranging people because, oh, it's a Lego set, but there's no instructions to build it. And not all of them are as easy as that. I'll tell you that. For trying to figure out how to build them. I had some. I tried building before they came out. Like, I want to say before season 2 or something came out. YouTube, whatever you want to call it. Pictures of it showed online, and I tried to build it on like Lego Digital Designer, and it wasn't exactly there. I guess it makes sense. Any Lego set would have it like that, but it didn't seem to work even when I built them, because I know once or twice I tried building it and it still had parts wrong. They were in the exact spots or whatever, so it was weird. This is actually pretty neat. I like how it wraps around on different parts so that it covers all the texture, and no side feels really flat, like kind of like swoops in there. Let's see if we can play some catch up with the chat. Wesley, nice to see you here. Hope to talk to you later. Anger Dragon 114, how's it going? I have a spare PS4 starter pack, only got it for Supergirl. Oh, neat. I know I got one for Supergirl, and then I sold the figure. Somehow the rest of the set kind of like dissipated, and I eventually got the Supergirl back. Yeah, because when I first got it, I was like, well, let me at least try it out, review it, play with it in game, and I know I'm gonna get it again, so I'm just gonna sell it right now. That was my thinking at the time of trying to review a set and then sell parts of it so that I can make the money back, but then I still have the experience of the set and I could get it again later, theoretically when it's cheaper when I would have normally bought it. The impromptu buy is for the review. That was the thinking I had at one time. Don't really do it the same way nowadays. I just go back to good old, if I want it now, I'll get it now. If I don't, I'll wait for a sale. Nothing wrong with that. Not saying it's day one or nothing, but So yeah, got the morning business taken care of. Should make like Napster Luke or something in Lego. Put it with this ghost. It'd be a good size and similar idea. Yeah. I was trying to point out before, I didn't realize that they had clear 2x2 bricks in here, because on the box they don't actually show that. They don't show how the ghost floats, or even the base itself looks very plain here. But on the back, it shows the whole thing. It's fascinating. And I think that has happened with one or two other sets like that. Not really sure why. Where it's like, it's not everything on the front of it. What you see is what you get, sort of dealio. But there it is. And some nice sand green and dark blue in here as well. Just other good colors to go with it. Which is also surprising to me that they're not quite made to separate from it. Must have got a text message or something. Yeah, if you saw the camera shake violently, that's probably it. It's because my phone is recording it. Where was I? But yeah, it's still neat. I think one of these sets, maybe Easter, had something where these could separate, or at least at the time they were separated, that I saw them. Whether or not it was intentional, I don't know. They got the one brick there. I put in the pumpkin. And just bone in a barrel. Just a bone in a barrel. But yeah, I'm going to try to do some cleaning today of Lego stuff. I don't know what the right way for me to do this is. And I've tried tackling this multiple times, different days, and never really found a good system for it. Like, oh, I'll just do this in routine and then it'll get done. I have no idea. The one thing I thought would work would be trying to clean up any Lego sets I'm not using for displays, for for the beach town, whatever, anywhere around the room in the basement. I thought if I clean those up, like just take apart the sets, bag them up, and then shove them away into a box or something, but like a box with other similar things, that might work. That might be a good plan. Because then I'll have a whole bunch of space, and I won't have to worry about the I'm really good at words today. Louise sounds pretty active. Hold on, let me take a look. Hey. Oh my God. Scooby, you're going in here, okay? Go in here. Hold on, Louise. Louise. How'd you go? How'd you get out? Louise. Oh my God. Louise. Come on. Are you kidding me right now? Please. Oh, I don't even know how that happened. But Louise got out of her cage. Oh my gosh. Okay. She's back in. She's safe now. I'm going to give her some food for her trouble because she's probably frightened out of her mind. That's a first. I just had to move Scooby to another room because I knew that he was like sniffing her, and she's probably just terrified, being up close in person with him. Usually there's a barrier. There's the cage. Alrighty. Alright, Louise. Get some more food for you. Now, if you can calm down, I can calm down. We'll all be a happy family again. Oh. Alright, Scooby, you can come on out. How did that happen? She put her back in the cage. How did that happen? In the words of Mrs. Puff, you can't make this easy, can you? But either way, safe and sound on the pets. We've got the brick head built now. I'm going to check up with the chat because I am actually reading it. Gallagade, nice to see you here. 3 hours later and the brick head's still not finished. Yeah, right. Is that Joey's birdie? Are you excited for Hidden Side Sets 2020 waves? Yeah, I did read about that. Not only that there are going to be 2020 sets, I knew that. Shortly after the first wave of sets came out, Brickset had something listed on their site with the names and possible set numbers. Scooby, how you doing? And possible set numbers, but not much information, obviously. So it's kind of been rumored for a while. It's just more verification over time. I do like those sets. I do like the sound of those sets. I definitely would love a haunted lighthouse. It's me we're talking about. And what were the other ones? I'm not surprised about the stunt plane. It's kind of standard fare. It almost sounds like... Is that Scooby? It almost sounds like Scooby-Doo Part 2. All right, I think everybody's hunky-dory. What were the other ones? Oh, there was something about a fair, which I think sounds cool. The train idea, it sounds to me like the subway might be similar in size or scale to the ghost train we have out now. And that would be fine for me because the main show of each of those sets is the train. So I'm not worried that the train station is very, like, bare bones. The train station is still usable. It's just really short. And yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to do a video or anything specifically about those. I don't really like doing news videos, even if it's spur of the moment. I don't like doing news videos on words. That's not a lot to work from. It's good hype, but you know, I'd like to. I want to have more substance. I did kind of think about what if I did a mock-up, like a LDD, what my interpretation of those sets would be. I don't know if it's either appealing or even worth the time. It could be completely off from what it is. So I have one more or three more, however you want to splice it. I have one more or three more sets to do for now. I do have another one or so that I'm going to do on a video, at least for, you know, talking more in depth about it. I was going to have like one or two Halloween reviews. Technically two new sets here I haven't reviewed yet. I don't know if I reviewed the bad. And I know I didn't review what I'm going to build next, but I have no idea which order is going to be. I know Ghostbusters was one I was going to review because I didn't do that already. I have footage from like 3 years ago of starting the review and then never finishing the recording. So it will actually be fun splicing that footage in because there's a time lapse and I'm like, all right, yeah, I could keep this. But yeah. So the next one that I haven't done yet, I'm going to build now. This is the Lego Master Builder Academy. This was a series that Lego did around 2012, I believe. Yeah, 2012. Bingo, right on the money. This is a series that Lego did, kind of a theme on its own, in 2012, where they had several kits released. It was actually fascinating how they were released, but I'll get to that in just a sec. They had a whole bunch of levels of Lego sets. They were all supposed to encourage kind of like Creator, where it's like you could build the main model, but then you could build other stuff after that because they sometimes have instructions or inspirational models for other things to build out of these. But the goal of these is to learn more building techniques that master builders would use or encouraged by master builders, you know, to try to add extra details or add extra functions into a Lego model. Each of the levels were different colors and they represented different things you could build in them. The first one was green, like a lime green color, and it was, I want to say there was I'm not sure what the theme of it was, because one was space, and then another was like a micro scale, and I don't remember what the third was. I only had the space one, and even that is incomplete. This is the third level. This is the most Halloween of them, in my opinion. They have, first of all, it's all in orange. That's great. Second, it's supposed to be a story building kind of motif. They call it Adventure Designer. And the idea is that you would have all these different places built with little functions in them so that you can tell a story from one thing to the next. They actually encourage the story in these books. What I was saying before, what's fascinating about how they were released, they had two different ways of releasing them from what I recall. One of them was in box sets like this. I think usually the first part of any of the levels was in its own box. And it was a very nicely done box. Kind of ideas scale, but not with the same like flaps opening up the box. They actually have, these have already been built. I built them last year. So I have my own bags in here. I don't have the originals anymore. But they had like this sorting tray. They had a couple bags of numbered parts and the book itself, you know, which is, like I said, ideas worthy, you know, that's like the square binding. It's like really nice paper to it. And a beefy book. Like the main building for each of these is not going to take the entire book. There's a lot more inspiration in it than the main model. So you either get these sets in boxes like this, and then you have to buy 3 of them because they have 3 different kits. Or they sometimes released a bundle with all 3 of them, so it's all on the same level. So this whole thing could have been its own giant box. I didn't get it that way. I got at one of the, maybe Philly Brickfest or something. I got the first one, and then I got the other 2 later in giant poly bags, which I guess were from the large box set. Because I don't think there was nothing like this available in the box that I have. So fascinating. And I had to order the books separately because I didn't get them with the poly bags, unfortunately. But there they are. I wonder if I can move the camera around just a little bit. Pardon me for a second. So that way I can read the chat and you guys can see much closer. So bring it down to here. Oh, that's way better. Why didn't I do this before? Have you played much of LEGO Dimensions? I've played the entire campaign, like the 6-hour campaign event. I've played a couple of the unlockables. I still have a few more of the figures to get. And it's going to take me a while, even after all that, to 100% completed. Unfortunately, unlike older LEGO video games where I'd be playing with a sibling, and it would be easier to complete them because you have 2 people working at the same time in the free play mode, I've been doing a lot of this one on my own. And I have only gone back to it every so often, usually when there was a new wave of sets out or something. Though there's still a couple more that I need to get. I have Powerpuff Girls downstairs. I need to get Teen Titans Go just to complete it. I am not really a fond of the minifigs or the show it's based on, but I digress. Same thing with Powerpuff Girls, but at least they look good as just Powerpuff Girl figures. And then you don't even need the newer TV show to tie into them. Do I have any of the other brick heads from this line? None from this year, but I do have a video I will work on, especially after building this one. I do have a video that I've been working on to show how many brick heads I have already and the different ways I got them. I don't really get the seasonal ones that much. I'm more... This may be contradictory or something, but I usually get the ones that are based on licenses, like Homer and Krusty from The Simpsons. I got a couple of the Marvel ones here and there. Got a couple of the Batman ones here and there. I got all the Lego Movie 2 ones. I'm very happy about that. Just got home from a school run. I've got this Ghost brickhead as well, but not built it yet. Yeah, no problem. Still got time. I do have another Lego set around. I don't know where it is, and I feel like I just got it. That's Halloween themed. It came out a few years ago. It's like this. It has like this little gate in front of it. It has Dracula and a skeleton, and it looks like a party. Let's see if I can find the name of the set, because I'm not sure what it is. Lego Halloween Party? Maybe? And no, I don't have 2 phones. I just have an iPhone that doesn't make calls. I know, it's complicated. It's really not. Where's the thing? Maybe I used the wrong words because it's not showing up yet. I don't know what the set number is. I don't even know if the thing has a name. Monster 4 would actually be a good one, but that's basically just that's just Connect 4. I have parts of it though. That's where I got the Handsome Devil headpiece. And I don't know if I uploaded that haul. I got more of them recently, so I can have more copies of Handsome Devil. Either more copies or more minions, however you want to interpret it. Lego Halloween seasonal set 2018. Was it 2018 or 17? I'm not sure now. Oh, here we go. 40260. I don't know what the name is though. 40260. I didn't want to pull up the video that it had it on. Halloween Haunt. Yeah. So this set is sitting somewhere downstairs, waiting to be built, and I will probably do a video about it. It will somehow go into the Halloween display. Monster Fighters is the one that's killing me though, because I really want to get those sets up. I'd love to put the Ghost Train on tracks just for display. But I don't know where a bunch of those sets are. And I don't have all of them, unfortunately. I don't have the Haunted House. I don't have the Zombies. I did have the Mad Scientist for a time. The funny thing with that, I did review it a few years ago. But I got 2017, actually. I got that because I was helping a friend that I met at Brick Fair, Virginia in 2017. Still good friends with them. I was helping a friend get a bunch of the Monster Fighter sets, and that was one that she was looking for. So I was able to piece it all together, or most of it. I think there were still a few pieces missing here and there because it's just hard to find. And like the basic structure was there. And I reviewed it, and then I sent it out her way. She reimbursed me, so I'm happy with that. Like I said, it's not important for me to collect everything, but it is important for me to experience more than I collect. Because, there are plenty of these sets I may have around. I may not always want them around, or may not always need them for something. But it is nice to know what it was like building it. So they don't have this as a PDF online, this whole book, which is kind of unfortunate. Even the Lego website, which catalogs lots of Lego sets in all different years and such, does not have a proper file scan of all of these. But yeah, this is just a sample of what the book itself looks like. Having like this decrepit town, some frogs this guy finds on the way. I don't know the exact story of it, but a lot of encouragement through this about how to build stuff and make a story with it. Modular building, yeah. It doesn't have modular building the same way in this set as it does with the ones we know. But it does have, you can connect all three of the models together through this thing. Excuse me. Eventually I'll catch up with the chat because I think it just stopped for a second. My son watches Powerpuff Girls. I'm assuming he watches the older ones or the newer ones. I'm not going to lie, the newer ones I've tried watching and I just can't get into it. It just feels a little too modern. I'm not a fan of the animation compared to the old ones I grew up with, like in the 90s. There's not a lot of fighting or not a lot of superhero action to it the way the original was. Which it doesn't need to be in every show, but it's like it was good for it at that time. Sega, sorry, once again, how's it going? And we have an MC, the Australian brick fan, Austrian. My mistake. I always confuse the words Austria and Australia. Look so similar. But MC, nice to see you here either way. I've got 2 of the sets as well as one of them is getting for his birthday. Nice. Wish I had that small Halloween set with Dracula in the gate. Somehow I totally missed it. I found it over the summer on clearance around like $7 or something. So it wasn't. It's not too far gone. But yeah, might be a little harder to find than normal. Is Joey wearing the Galdor shirt? I am. Beetlejuice is such a cool figure. Also something I don't have yet. But the prices for dimension sets were ridiculous if you just want the figs. Absolutely. I got, you probably haven't seen, but I had a whole video about Brick Fair, Virginia. I accidentally forgot a few things in that video, but I digress. I got this set sealed $15, which was about the price of it regularly. I mean, no, it was 12 GameStop tag on there. But that's not a big increase from when it, since it's been discontinued. The Teen Titans Go one I almost got, but they wanted 50 or something. I don't know. It seems like a ridiculous price for it sealed. And I just wasn't willing to put up with that. I was like, I don't think so. Maybe it was 50 with this and the other one. Maybe it was 35 for the Teen Titans Go on its own. Either way, I wasn't willing to throw that much down. I already spent some before at the yard sale at Brick Fair, Virginia, getting an adventurer's thing I haven't seen anywhere. So it's like, I'd rather look for something that I don't know much about and I don't see that often, but isn't necessarily rare and valuable. The Lego Adventurers pouch I have is something that caught my eye and I like it. But the other thing, the Teen Titans Go pack, I can always get that somewhere else. Not too imperative for me to get it now. Although, I may come back around to it soon. The Powerpuff Girls one I think was around 20, 25. I don't remember how much that was. It wasn't much more than the retail. Because that one I did get in a GameStop, and it was apparently on clearance. So I was like, okay. Yeah, I'm also missing the Goonies level pack. Basically the last wave or so. I may have seen them in stores a short handful of times before they were pulled from shelves, or people just bought them up like crazy at that point because it's like, oh, these Dimensions game is over, but these are really good packs, and people love Beetlejuice. I even counted how many times I said his name, so I'm not gonna make the joke here about it. I made the joke already on another video. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, if he enjoys it, more power to him. That's all I can say. It may not be for everybody. No kangaroos here, only cows. Yeah, that's true. Is it all good prices at Brick Fair, or do you still have to shop around? Brick Fair, Virginia, it varies. Like I said, this was during a yard sale, so people independently setting up to sell stuff. It's their prices, however they want to do it. They either go... I think people on average will go with, like, what's the going price online. Like, if they see it on Bricklink, what pricing it fairly based off of that. I remember when I went in 2017, I found a couple unique Lego things. There were these large play mats from like the 90s or something. And the guy wanted near hundreds for them because they weren't listed on Bricklink and there was no, value set to them online, Even on eBay, I don't think they were on there at the time. And I remember a bunch of people were gathered around this table looking at these oddities from Lego. And when he said that price, a bunch of them walked away. So I was one of them. I was like, all right, no thanks. Nope, not worth it. The fun part is I did get those Lego playmats later on for a steal, for trade. Didn't have to put money down for it whatsoever. That was great. I don't know if I have all of them, but I definitely have 2, and that's way better than trying to get them at the yard sale. So it varies. It's like a real yard sale. People may or may not throw value on something, you know. I got a little Lego Atlantis. Excuse me. Maybe I am coming down with something. I don't know. I got a Lego Atlantis notebook or something at Brick Fair, Virginia this year. I thought it was cool. I didn't know if there was real value to it, but I got it for free. The people that had it were like, we just really don't need this. It's sitting here. They had a $1 section or something. And they were just like, yeah, you could just take it. Because they saw me looking at it with wonder, and I was like, I was willing to buy it, but like they were just like, yeah, just go for it. I'm like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I sound like an old man. I'm only 24, guys. I'm not old. I swear I'm not old. I'm just awkward. Alright. Let's get to building this. I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough room. This is a big book. Trying to figure out how to put this down. Right. You know what? Yeah, this works better. I put the book on this side. I think before I had a bunch of them on the other side. I don't want to lose these pieces though, because I think it's just, I don't remember if there's extra pieces in some of these. When I rebuild Lego sets, I usually take the extra pieces out, and they just get mixed in with other bins. So if something goes missing, it's going to be a lot harder to find. But at least we already have the figure and the backpack built. That I remember from last time. Wanted to keep that together. I love your tank setup for that. Yeah, absolutely free. It's the best price. Thank you about the tank. I don't know if I showed it. Anywho. I'm still kind of getting over the brief heart attack of Louise escaping her cage. I have not picked her up myself before. Usually when the cage gets cleaned, my mom or my sister does it. She's more, they're both more acquainted, and they've just never asked me to do it up to this point. So I haven't really handled Louise, our guinea pig. So, yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking for both of us, Louise and I, that I had to pick her up off of the carpet floor in the living room, wandering around, and fit her back in the cage. I'm like, this isn't going to take long. Just get back in here. We'll be fine. So, yeah, this one might actually take a little longer. That's why I saved it for last. To at least get a couple of things built now. I put this as part 1 because I thought this itself was going to be part 2. But I have a couple other sets I need to find, so that might be part 2. I don't know if I need to rebuild any of the Monster Fighters sets. If I do, it's probably just repair. Because I think the last time I had them together, like out for display, it might have just been that they were just put together in a bag and they weren't broken up or anything. But moving things around, they probably did fall apart. I don't know. That's going to be fun when we get to that. I don't know when, but before Halloween, I know that much. I'm also going to try to do some cleanup today so I can get that hidden side video out. I'm having a hard time with it because I don't know if I have the right space for it. And I'm also worried about taking too long talking about it. I already did a presentation for it before with Conlug. And to keep it brief, I did it. I was able to do that in 10 minutes. But I didn't really talk in depth about any of the sets, one-on-one. Like, this set is blah, blah, blah. And has this, and, pro-con. I didn't get to do that. I just kind of said, this is the set. Here's what I liked. Here's what I disliked. As just a one-off sentence. it wasn't as thorough as I usually do on a Lego review. Let's put it that way. But when I oh, that was that piece. Whoops, I threw that back in. When I do my video for it, I'd like to be in depth and I'd like to really cover everything because I don't want to do a second video about it. And I didn't want to break them up into their own reviews because I knew I was going to get all the sets. I thought talking about all the sets at one time would make the review faster and less time to watch for you guys and record and edit for me if I did it all at once. Like, instead of having all these different clips about Sega, see the 20-second video that I posted on Instagram, on YouTube. I mentioned in the beginning of the live stream. I didn't mention it a second time, but yeah, I threw my thoughts out there. What was I saying? So instead of recording a whole bunch of separate clips where I'd be like, this is the Jack minifigure included in this set, and then showing it around, and some of them, the same between different sets or whatever. I thought it would be better that I just like, here's this version of the minifigure available in these sets. That it would actually make more sense. It's like almost like a brick vault where they do the minifigure collections, but this is part of the bigger review. Talking about all of these sets at once. But yeah, for those who didn't see before, those who are newer to the chat, I mentioned in the beginning, I already did my thoughts on the Ideas Dinosaur set. Like, literally 20 seconds first impression about it. So you can watch that if you like and come right back here. You'll probably not miss anything. Yeah. I just don't want to talk about it here ad nauseum, and when I already posted something about it. I know how Greg is. I know how it's kind of aggravating to get the same question over and over again, and then having to answer it, and it's like, well, why don't you just direct them over this way? There's a thing that answers a question for everybody. I'd like to do that at some point with other questions that I get. I've wanted to do that for a while. Like, what's your favorite Lego set? What's your favorite Lego fig? Some of those, I know it doesn't take long to answer them, but it's like, well, if I already have it posted, you don't have to wait until now to say so. The answer is out there. Adventure is out there. I don't know. JB Brick Fanatic, nice to see you here. So Galligade, right now I am building the Lego Master Builder Academy Adventure Designer. This was from 2012. It was a series of Lego sets they had for different color schemes on each of them. And the basic idea is that it was like a creator set and more. You'd have a main build. You can change it into something else. They give you instructions for that. But all throughout the book, even all these little side parts of the book, they go through in a master builder way about, how the set is designed or different techniques you can use to encourage the building outside of this. That was the idea. Did it really work? I don't know. Was it a big success? I don't know. Because they had 4 or 24 sets, depending on how you look at it, involved in this. So I think it was good. Or at least it ran its course. Oh, I'm getting confused on the step of what to build here next. But no, this isn't a mock. This is actually a Lego set. And I have all 3 components so that I can make this into a full display. I actually put this up last year for Halloween. I don't remember if I did a video or a photo on social media about it, but it was cool. and I'm bringing it back. It's really a facade. It's better on one side than the other by far. So it definitely worked for this this display purpose. Okay. Yeah, it's it might be a hard one to find nowadays, because not that it was rare or anything. I mean, at the time it was available in stores like Barnes and Noble for some of the sets. I don't know if all of them were available outside of Lego, you know, but I know some of them you could buy separately. I got each of these for about 30 to 35 each. So for the whole thing that I'm building here, it's about $100. And I don't know if it's worth it. It's about 220 pieces each, which is what, 600 something total. If we're going price per piece, it doesn't sound great. The Lego Ideas Dinosaurs, though, all right, fine, I'll talk about it. I did look that up while editing the video, and that's actually a pretty good value. You get 900 pieces for 3 dinosaurs and a couple of stands to build for $60. That's actually pretty good, and I think Lego might be aware of that when they're doing their ideas sets and trying to put a budget on them. That actually works very well. You know, it's not super expensive, but it is like, I don't want to say masterclass, but it feels impressive enough that, yeah, I could see people buying it for that price. Or like the past couple sets, you know, the what was the other one? Well, the Trey House I think is more than 60, but it's also pretty big. I've seen it in person, and I'm like, wow. Wasn't the book, the pop-up book, around 60 or something? I don't remember. 60, 70, something like that. See, I feel like that price range is good to have for something that's like impressive as a model, but isn't, you know, a full out play set, isn't like, you know, highly difficult. But it is definitely like, oh, you like building with Lego, this is advanced and thought out, you know, all the way through. That kind of thing. Not that smaller Lego sets aren't. I don't know what I'm saying. I used to have an idea of how a Lego set could be judged on its price range, but I don't really know if that applies now. I don't know if that, because, you know, I don't know if it works better another way. So yeah, bling. Each one of the parts of this have something like that, like a treasure to find. I used to think like $20 is good for a vehicle or 2 vehicles. $30 is good for a small playset. You know, 100 would be 100 to 120. I would say would be for a, you know, a beefy playset. Like it wouldn't surprise me to put a Batcave around 100, 120 every time, because it's a Batcave. It's got a lot of things you can do in it. I don't know. If I actually wasn't coming up with this on the spot, I probably would have a better way of explaining myself, which is life in general. What was your favorite ideas set that you own? You know what? I should have. I thought I did that, but I didn't. I should rank them from the ideas sets that I own. The favorite. I really don't know. Right now, That by itself could be a video. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm not going to answer your question now. No, I'm still going to go through it. This is just the brainstorming. This is the behind the scenes, if I may. Currently, the idea sets that I own, that I can recall, I have the Exo-1, not Exo-1? Exosuit. Whatever it's called. The big classic Peter Reed set. Yeah, with the classic space figures and all that jazz. I have the birds. I have the DeLorean. I used to have Wally. Yeah, Wally was definitely one of my more favorite ones because it was a really good design for the character. But as you all know, Brickset owns that. I'll try to get mine back someday. What else do I have? I said the DeLorean. I don't know if I said the Ecto-1. That's the one I'm going to review soon on the channel. I have the Research Institute and Women of NASA, which I would say are just about equal on their function and on their design, and almost on price range, actually. Research Institute was the cheapest I ever bought a Lego set, or Lego Ideas set, I should say. For those who don't know the story, I was in a Toys R Us by chance. And, well, I say by chance because it was like I didn't go in trying to buy something. I was just, it was nearby. I looked around. And lo and behold, I find 3 copies of the Research Institute for like $1. It was like 98 cents or something. It scanned on the aisle scanners. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get these. And not that I was gonna hope to flip all of them. I was gonna at least keep one for myself. And I knew somebody who was looking for one, so I, would send it their way and they'd pay me back for it. That was, I think, Talk Bricks. And the third one, I think I did sell at some point, but it wasn't a big flip from what I recall. I don't know. I think I might have wanted to do a giveaway with it at some point, but that was a long time ago. So I may not remember it that well. Yeah. Getting down to the wire on this one. What was I going to say? What other idea sets do I own? I'm trying to go through my head what came out for ideas and if I own it or not. I don't have the Hayabusa sub or telescope, whichever one it was. Either of those 2 first ones I don't have. Plain and simple. I don't have the Doctor Who set. But a bunch of these I have no interest in getting. I kind of would be interested in the sub if it wasn't crazy expensive, or if I knew more about the sub. I mean, yeah, I like my Lego diver stuff and underwater Lego stuff, but I don't know anything about that submarine particularly. I don't have the Minecraft world. I did have what came after it though, the Nether. I had that for a time, and then I sold that off. But that wasn't an idea set. That was like a standard Minecraft set at that point. I'm trying to think what else. What else came out in ideas? Well, I wouldn't say it's a day one buy, but if that Bionicle set that I keep retweeting about, if that one gets to ideas, if gets approved, it'd be close to a day one buy for me. I would say. I don't have the Treehouse. I mentioned that before. I don't have it yet, and I don't know when I'll get it, because I really do like Treehouse Lego sets. They're really fun. They're very nicely done, even creator ones. The problem is I don't know where I'm gonna put that, because I've seen it in person and I know it's big. and I don't know where I'm going to fit that. It wouldn't fit in the beach town. It would be too big for that. Any of the creator ones may be in the beach town, but still might be big for that. And also kind of takes away from the aesthetic of it. I would say they would fit better in a suburbia than down the shore. I don't have, what was the other one? The pop-up book. I've thought about it a few times over the past year, and I don't know. I think it is cool. I definitely wouldn't try to build more stuff to it, like to fit inside of the book. I don't have the maze. That's one I really want to get. And I turned it down this past weekend. I was going to get it at Warminster Brick Shop. But unfortunately, even though it had the box and it was already assembled, it was being sold as is. And I didn't know if that meant it was at all complete. It looked rather complete, but for all I knew, it could have been missing parts all over the place. And I want to get a complete copy, whether or not it was sealed. I have the ship in the bottle. Forgot about that one. I don't have the Tron bike. Right, Gallagher, thank you for reminding me about that one. The Tron bike looks cool, but I've never watched the Tron movies, so I don't have an interest there based off of that. I'm not saying I have to, but it would justify it a little bit more if I actually knew what the context of the figures and the bikes were. The closest context I have to any of those is a parody on Family Guy and a light bike app I used to play in like middle school. So that's probably not going to help. They still look cool, and I do like what people have done with them, trying to make different base plates for them. Or JK Brickworks, I think, made one that moves from side to side. That is pretty neat. Trying to think what else. You know, it's weird. This is a 200-something piece set, this part. And it really does take a while. I've built this almost 2 times before. I don't know if this is the second time or third time, but it does take a little bit more for me to like work around it and put everything together. I don't know why it feels like it's taking a while. I mean, to put in perspective, the Brickhead's Ghost was 136 pieces. The Vampire Bat, I don't know how many pieces it was, but maybe a little over 100. This is near 200. It feels like I've been building this forever. I don't know why. Even if I've already built it before and roughly know where things go. So there's that. Let's see. That goes there. That goes there. I have the Flintstone set. Completely forgot that one, even though I just built it. What, a week ago? That was a good one. It was fun. I appreciate it more as a building than the license, because I don't remember the Flintstones house well enough in structure to say, oh, it's authentic. But no, I liked it more because it had a lot of building techniques put into it. And I think the cars is fine. It's sizable. It works. Still larger than minifig scale, but what are you gonna do? Everything's gonna be larger than minifig scale. Or smaller. Like this, really tiny. Given the impression of 3 buildings, but that's not that much when you put a figure next to it. Steamboat. I do not have the Steamboat. It's kind of hard for me to justify the Steamboat. Because when it first came out, we all knew that it had the misprint of number 24 instead of number 25. So it made it seem valuable that there were misprinted boxes. And I thought, okay, well, I can justify the retail price of that because it's going to be a rarity finding that. And I could, you know, not that I was going to flip it, but if I wanted to get this at some point, 90 could kind of work. I just didn't think it was going to work on its own as the set without that little, you know, mishap. And then it turns out that just about every Lego store, I think even Barnes & Noble and other stores, it's widely misprinted. And I don't know why. This is the weirdest thing. But that makes me feel like it's not as special, and I don't want to pay the full retail price for it because, you know, there's not an extra value to that. It's available everywhere. So I also lost some interest with it because it's not a full interior. I didn't expect the whole boat to be minifig scaled, but I was expecting that you go into more of the cabin than what they offer. So that's unfortunate. It's just my opinion on it, though. I'm sure other people love it, and that's fine by them. Yeah. All right, there we go. We got the first part built. Saturn V, that's yes. I like space. And I like every once in a while learning about space. My problem is I don't know enough of history of space to really get into those. Women of NASA I got into because I at least recognized the astronauts. I know I've done a report or read a biography or something about Sally Ride before. That gave me a little bit more to liking it. But also there were decent models and decent display pieces. Saturn V as a whole model, really impressive, but I don't know a lick about the vehicle, you know, the explorations it had or anything like that. And I don't know where I'd put it. It would be impressive if I could fit this over like a hallway or something. I'm looking right now over the doorway in this room, and I'm like, that would be really cool if I could put together some kind of like metal hook frame thing and just sit this on top of it. But it's a fantastic idea for something that I will probably never do or would not fly so well if I do it here. It's just not gonna work. I'm not saying physically fly. It's not like the ones I have in the Lego room in the basement. I dropped a piece. Hold on. There it is. It's not like in the Lego room where I have things hanging by wire. That would be too heavy to hang by wire and too big. The way I've hung things in there, it has just enough that it's not going to hit anyone 6 foot or so in the head. Maybe like it's like a little bit over my head for at least one thing. But considering it's a blimp, it's just gonna hang lower. It's just how it is. But yeah, the rest of them are around the height of 6 foot occupancy, and they're not incredibly heavy either. Fishing store, yes. Fishing store might actually be my favorite. Thank you, Sega. I don't know why I spaced off the fact that was an idea set. Fishing store is probably my current favorite. And I say current because I have flopped between a couple sets. I think at one time the birds was my favorite set, which is still really good. But, you know, I had different reasons and different times for liking different things. So we already had the helicopter part built for this one. Now I'll get on to the model. That is good. I actually kept those backpack parts of these together. Makes it a little bit easier. So, what was I just saying? Yeah, Old Fishing Store is definitely my current favorite. I like the interior, exterior. Sand green is used very well in this model. Really captures the shore feel. I'm also biased towards, shore-based Lego sets. Like I said before, underwater stuff is my jam. Or near water, beach, whatever you want to call it. That's my jam. A good assortment of figures, even though it does have some common parts, it's just enough that it feels right. Like they don't feel out of place. And I don't feel like they're reused that much, which is fine. It's like only a handful of times that I've seen in other sets right now. Some point I should review the that's it. I'm always weary. I don't know, like I should always review Lego sets. There's a lot of people that review Lego sets. I have nothing to contribute to that. I would rather do it in a way that isn't a review, isn't as technical and in depth, because other people already got that covered and they say it very well. And I don't know if I could say it much better than that or more uniquely. But if there was like I said, if we did like ranking the Lego Ideas sets kind of thing, yeah, because I'd still give my opinion out there, but it doesn't have to go too in depth about every one of those sets, and you still get the idea of what I like and dislike. But it's not like a whole review where I have to say about every piece and figure. It's not that I hate those. I just don't want to keep doing them personally on my channel. I want to do a bunch of other things and still be able to give those opinions about Lego or other products. I do reviews of other things for sure. Yeah, I do a bunch of like Nerf reviews once in a while. I do plan on doing more. I have a bunch recorded and just not edited yet. But with those, there's a little more to it. It's like, well, you actually get to see how they fire, so that's cool. You also get to hear if I like them compared to other blasters. That kind of helps. Wait, what? I keep putting them in the wrong spot. Just a little bit off from the instructions. No biggie. Where are we at? Friends, yeah, I like the Friends set for Ideas. I just haven't seen it in stores, and I'm also not ready to throw down for that. Like Big Bang Theory, I forgot about that one, but I had Big Bang Theory at one time. I literally bought it, built it, reviewed it, parted it out. It was in that time, like I said, where I would review Lego sets and try to make the money back, and then if I wanted to buy the set personally later, I would do so. That was a bad investment. Let me tell you, it didn't work for a whole bunch of sets, a whole bunch of, like almost a year or two of trying to do this, and it didn't work. Big Bang Theory was good for its time, but there have been other vignette sets like that have improved. I would say Friends is one of them. And as a fan of the show, I am definitely interested in that set. I think they have a couple references to different episodes in there, which is really neat. Like there's one with where Joey Tribbiani tries the he does like a makeup commercial, and they have like a poster or something in the set based on that commercial, which is cool. I appreciate the little nods like that. Big Bang Theory didn't have that many, if I remember correctly, for like in-show references. They had one thing on the door, which was a sticker. They didn't. Yeah, that was a sticker. And then they had the chalkboard that was printed, or not chalk, whiteboard. I'm trying to think if they. I don't know if they really put anything else in there. Maybe there was brick built stuff, but I'm thinking of printed pieces. For for brick build, they had like the Green Lantern. They had what was it? I mean, other than the look of the apartment, you know. Yeah, of course they had that. They had the Chinese food containers, I guess counts. I don't know. Like I said, it was an all right set for its time. Definitely had I saw a lot of people using it a la modular style. It's like, this is a good set, but I'm going to use it in every Lego scene ever. It's good if you change a couple parts around and just make it a standard apartment. But it did feel like everybody used it at the same time. And I'm kind of getting bored of it. Let's see. Oh, that's it. But yeah, there's definitely better options than that nowadays. Like I wouldn't try hard to get that set again. You know? Maybe before the Friends set, I'd be interested in that, but now afterward, it's like, it's fine. I'm not a huge fan of Big Bang Theory. I've watched a lot of it, and I've just kind of grown tired of it over time, personally. So, I'm fine without it. Wow, I am really messing up on these instructions. Look at this thing's getting built at all. I keep going back and forth like, oh, it's the other spot. How long have I been building? I'll try to catch up in the chat in just a sec, because I think mine, it keeps pausing it when I'm trying to read one or two comments, and then it's like, it doesn't show the next ones to pop in. So my bad on that. Get this in. So yeah, this one's like, it's behind a waterfall. You know, finding that treasure piece is the idea. How do you get to the waterfall? Well, there's something on here that kind of blocks it. Oh, I got to keep it back here. Whoops. Whoopsie. I don't think I built this in a year. Last time I built it was last year. So yeah. It's something that I haven't done too much, but building sets just for the season is a fascinating thing. Like, it could be, it could work, but you also, at least it keeps it fresh, you know? You can look at it two ways, where it's like, oh, I've already built this before. I'm not surprised by it, and it could be perceived as boring. Or, oh, I've built this before, but not in a while, and it's refreshing that I haven't that I get to build it again after a while, and, you know, moved on to other things. So I don't know. I don't know if it's always that way, or if it's one set or another makes me feel like that, but just me thinking, just me throwing my thoughts into the void. All right, there we go. Oh, only on that side, though. Nope, that's the wrong piece. At least this part isn't as much a facade. You still get some detail around it. It's just not a lot. Not a lot more than the previous one. And that by itself is its own pro-con argument. you don't get a lot of detail in some Lego sets all the way around, but you do get the opportunity to play with them inside. Like the one we had built before, yeah, this looks very lackluster and almost like a movie prop. But it gives you room that you could fit a figure in here, move it around. You know, your hands only going to occupy some space and still be able to see things, you know? So it still gives you something to play inside of, even though it doesn't look as good. It's a cutout. But again, like I said, I think that goes from one set to the next, you know, case by case. Does it work? Because, you know, some you may want all the way around, some you don't. All right. So we got this in here. This is going to be a second play feature of the set, a trapdoor. The idea of this is that there's a bridge on top, and there's kind of like this water tunnel thing underneath, and that's where you'd find this behind it. That's how you get to it, because you have the ladder here climbing up, which is pretty neat. And all these parts in the end, I'll show you at the end of this, how they all connect. Let me catch up with the chat before I keep building. I love to support the LEGO ideas. Brick Bros UK are great. Sound 5 is one of my favorites. I like the original designer's minifigs way better. Yeah, I don't remember what the designers get. I know I've met the designer before, back when it was still a project. I just don't remember what the figures looked like. And I also remember that designer also had his first layout of the TARDIS, the Doctor Who set. That looked really impressive. And I think he also had some Cyberman model aside from it. That was also really cool. Voltron. Yeah, I forgot there was an idea set too. Wow, I'm really forgetting these. So, Voltron, I had a lot of fun building it. I don't own it. I built it to help someone out. And that's why I don't own it myself. It's not like I bought it, resold it, or anything. But I have built most of the robots in it. And they were pretty cool. They had a lot of cool building techniques to them. There we go. Now we got the trapdoor. Oh, it's facing the wrong way. Never mind. We don't have the trapdoor. But yeah, it was a really cool set. And I have actually held the whole thing together in person. Once or twice. It was something I still had to be very gentle with, but also felt very, very solid. So it was good. It's not a thing I would own personally because, again, I don't know much about Voltron as a TV show. It just keeps making me think of the Megazord from Power Rangers, which has a similar design. But I know that they're two different properties. It's like saying Pokemon and Digimon are the same thing. No, not quite. People will tell you you're wrong. People won't like that. But Pokemon and Yokai Watch, they're totally the same thing. I don't know. The first I ever heard about Yokai Watch, which I'm not into personally, and this is why I feel this way. The first I heard about Yokai Watch, I thought, this is some kind of Pokemon ripoff, isn't it? And not that Pokemon invented the catching monsters thing, it just popularized it. And as you know, when something gets popularized, everything else is seen as a ripoff. Lego wasn't the first building block toy for kids. That was Kittycraft. And probably something before that we don't even know. It's that far back. But now, you look at things like Mega Bloks, Tente, what's the other one? There's one that's like a STEM robotics thing that has very Lego Technic looking pieces. I always think it's a ripoff when I see it in the stores. I had a whole bunch I reviewed last year that were ripoffs. That were dollar store kind of, Lego sets. Block Tech, that's the one. I still have a few that I haven't reviewed yet, just for fun. I like looking through them just from that I would be analytical, because it's like, how does this building system work? Does it compare to Lego? Does it improve from what Lego does? Kobe is another example of that, where they have some pieces fascinatingly superior to Lego, but not all the time. Connects, that's a joke. I loved Connects growing up. I didn't love Connects bricks, though. When I was younger, nowadays, I did a big rant review on the Family Guy Connect sets. They were awful. I still own them, but they're awful. I keep them unbuilt because I don't want to worry about them falling. I didn't want to have them built and worry about them falling apart. Also, I don't need them around. Like I said earlier, I don't need to have every Lego set built. I try to rotate them. So yeah, there's that. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there on this one. But yeah, this one definitely gives a Halloween vibe. I don't know if it came out around Halloween originally for this whole this level 3 of Master Builder Academy. Part of me thinks it did. Now, is there a missing piece? Did I throw one in here in the wrong spot? I don't know why. There's a piece. It seems to be missing. Is there an extra? It got stuck under something? I don't know. Sometimes they roll into the instructions and it's like, why is this here? I'll try to find it later. It's not gonna change it too much. Okay, that's in the right spot there. Let's see about that, chat. Can't get the Yellow Submarine. I forgot about that too. I kind of like it. I'm a Beatles fan. Yellow Submarine isn't my favorite album, but it still looked cool as a set. The only things I have from that, because I got them before the set came out and it was somehow released on eBay or whatever. Again, this is in, big reviewer phase. I got the figures for Paul McCartney and Nowhere Man, but I knew nothing about Nowhere Man. I just knew that he was from the cartoon movie based on Yellow Submarine. That's also where a lot of the designs come from. And that was a waste. It was like $20 or something for those two figures when I got them. But hey, they were out before the sets. That's why they were, valuable that way. Didn't mean they were worth the value. But anywho, would I get the whole set eventually? Probably. I think it still looks cool. That I could see as a submarine I would fit into like ocean displays and things like that. That would just be fun. Like a big Easter egg. There's another piece missing? What? What is up with this? And I'll try to find those later. I want to keep the build moving. As if I haven't taken long enough already. Now this I thought was interesting. How they built a tree into the model and have like this technique for holding it there. And it works pretty well because the next part of this continues the tree build. Like, you know, the next whole model that's assembled. All right, so we get that. So yeah, they use these Technic pins, which is it's a technique I've seen before, but I just haven't. I want to use it more in my own building. The Bionicle mask wall that I built years ago would be so much better if I did this technique. It would be a lot sturdier. But yeah, this is the part 2, kit 8, because they number all of them in the same order. The first one was 7. This one is 8. Pretty good. This one's pretty good all the way around. Pretty substantial. And it's supposed to be a blend between the town that was in the first one and the like outskirts of the town. Having this bridge here, which is, yeah, I'd say that's pretty proper even outside of Halloween. And like I said, it does have some play features with it. Pull this back and drops through. So drop a minifigure down there. And also you don't have to pull the entire thing out, which is good so you don't lose this. And then you have underneath here, this spins around so you can get to the treasure. So, you know, from this side it'd be hidden. Hidden side, if I may. I said it earlier, I don't know if you guys heard. I'm not going to fit all of the hidden side sets into my Halloween display. I don't think all of them are going to constitute it. But I am going to at least fit in the school and the graveyard. It's one of the few Lego graveyards that I own as a set. And then you make some really nice ones. The Harry Potter one, if you took the figures out for either version of it, I have to say now because there are 2 versions. The new one and the one back in like, what was it? Order of the Phoenix or something? Whatever, however long ago. Either one of those is really good if you take the Harry Potter figures out of it. Even, well, you could even keep the Death Eaters and Voldemort, and it would be fine. Like as just spooky figures. So yeah, that's what I was saying before, that red pin area that kind of connects these together. Not a flawless execution, but it's decent from the front. And you guys will see more about the whole setup when I rearrange it. I got a table already to put it together. It's just a matter of where exactly is everything going to go. They even show some of the other Lego sets in here. So there's kind of a story with this where there's a villain, but they don't have a villain minifigure. So it's a little awkward on the story execution that they have based on the set. But they do have a lot of good stuff in here about story building in general. And world building, which is great. This is really my angle. Would I get all of the Master Builder Academy sets? I'm sure someday it'd be good to experience all of them. Like I said earlier, I don't have to collect everyone. I can always experience them if I don't want to own it. But yeah, I do want to explore more of these, see what each of the sets are like, and figure everything out from there. So we've already got the backpack built once again. I forget, some of you may have not even seen this. Might be the first time seeing it. I'm just trying to keep moving along. Maybe those pieces wound up in here, for all I know. I feel like they bring them out very quickly. They can't get them fast enough. I forgot about the Mars rover. That feels like it was short-lived. Or just, you know, just came and went. But yeah, they do bring them out pretty fast, or it feels fast, of idea sets in general. I know that they have what, quarterly or something reviews for them, but still, it's a lot per year. What else we got? Yellow Submarine is pretty sweet. So many ideas sets, most of them great. It was nice seeing, reading, hearing you live. Oh, all right. Sorry I didn't see you leave, MC, but thank you for stopping by. We have a, I don't know how you pronounce that, but I know you're here. Grsaekar. I recognize the username from a while ago. Hey, we already had a pumpkin in the video. There we go. I'll be back. Gotta go feed my son. Mom duty. Absolutely, mom duty. No problem there. This by itself, I remember being a decent set. The kind of thing that you could it could stand on its own. I would basically say that the weakest of the main models of these three is the first one. Like, impressive on the front, not as impressive on the back. I get that it's supposed to be playable, but it probably could add a little bit more to it. The second one, also pretty good. And this one, I'd say this one and the bridge one are just about on par. Like, are even. This is also why I'm not a reviewer, because I can't articulate myself right. I can't find the right words to describe how I feel, and I'm jumping back and forth on opinions, and who wants that? So, in the last leg here, and then when this is done, we'll finish up the live stream. If I do another part 2, or if I do another live stream later, part 2, it's probably not going to have as much going on. I can only think of 1, maybe 2 sets, unless I can find the Monster Fighters ones, and try to build those on stream or rebuild them. I don't see much else with that. I do want to put out a video soon. I've been working on steadily. That's about Lego ideas. How I had a project basically canceled on there. It was never fully submitted, but I knew that the chances of it happening were slim to none. And it wasn't a risque project or anything. It was something that, with the advent of the new system, where it's like you could check which existing IPs could be submitted and likely approved, you know, where it's like this would fit into what Lego wants, whatever. Yeah, this one got canceled in that way, and it's fascinating as to how it got to that point, you know. We'll see about it eventually. I get that video up. I will admit, in that video, my voice wasn't that great in there either, as it is now. So it didn't, what do you call it? It's not, I'm not going to sound great in it, sorry, but it's a story nonetheless. And as I heard from somebody yesterday, they like hearing my stories, or the stories are good. I didn't know. I didn't know how good they were. So I appreciate that. Feels like all through this month, I've been seeing a lot of people having issues, you know, with self-confidence and trying to, you know, get things done and keep up with things, and I feel that, myself included. And even if I can't help them solve the problem, I want to at least be there to console them, you know, at least make them feel like they're not alone, or that somebody is willing to listen if they need to get something off their chest. It's very important, from my experience and what I've seen other people's experiences. It's very important that you get things off your chest. Maybe not everything, but you can't hold it all back. if you do and you keep it all, as they say, bottled inside, you're gonna have a harder time on yourself, on other people around you. It's not gonna end well. And for some people, worse than others. So I didn't create the campaign for Brick Rookie. I'm just fully supporting it. So even though I mentioned it once before on video, I do want to bring it up again. If anybody hasn't seen that video, it is important. And that's the reason why it's so important that my link on most of the social media, like, oh, here's my account and here's the link to what I do. That link goes to that GoFundMe page because it's important that it keeps going. Even if it's been however long since it started, it doesn't matter. It should, it should see it through to its goal. So yeah, I'm a big supporter on that, and the community in general, making sure we're all on the same page. Yeah, that's true. There are great minifigures in the Friends Ideas set. I wouldn't say they're all accurate, because I know it looks like they used one or two that already existed, and I feel here or there about it. I think for Rachel or someone else, they just like reused a few parts, and it's like, okay. It just feels weird when putting them side by side with everyone else, that is more detailed or more accurate. And they're just kind of there. I'm pretty sure in the Big Bang Theory set, everyone had a new face print. And actually, the torsos were new prints as well. Whoop, I got the wrong spot. There we go. Trying to speed this up. I feel like I'm taking a while, and like I said, I've built this before, but even if it's been a while since I built it, not a lot of pieces. Yep. Who knows? I as much as I'd like to do a live stream soon, building the Destiny's Bounty and the Bricklink AFOL Designer Program set, part of me wants to at least do a video opening the ideas set, or the not the ideas set, the AFOL Designer Program set, so that it's like a nice crisp version of how it looks before unwrapping everything. I don't know how many people have that available online as it is, and I thought I'd at least get my record of it. Ow, my neck. What was the other thing I was looking at? Oh, and Destiny's Bounty, I just need the space for it. When that thing is out and ready to build, that means I have a table I can put this all on and build it. This table right here is okay, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Because that's also factoring in the box, the bags of pieces, the instruction book, But yeah, that I I want to be sure that I get it done all at once in the same stream, and I have a place to put it when it's done. Because it's going to be hard for me to move this thing around incomplete if I don't know where it's going to eventually go, you know? That's just not going to be helpful. I have one or two ideas about where it's going to go, and I've been saying ideas a lot. I keep thinking about the theme every time I say it. No, that's not what I mean. I have a couple ideas of where it's going to go. I just haven't made the space for it. And the other hard part is I want to fit the Ninjago City to go along with it. That, I already know how that's going to line up, but it's a matter of where it's going to go and try to fit it with Destiny's Bounty. You know, the two things are, I have to look through and figure it out. Like, what are the sizes of them? The default designer set, I already have an idea of where that's going to go. And I just have to clear off the space that's already there in order for me to put it down. That one's not going to be as big to build, I imagine. But like I said, I just want to do the prep work for it before going deep into it. I've already kind of had this spot reserved for it for a while in the Lego room because it's already been used in a similar way throughout last year. And that is it's like the third shelf down on the far right, where I've done a video before about Lego history. Lego, it was like a historical kind of shelf where it's like classic vintage Lego sets, something along that line. And yeah, that was it was a good idea to put it there. It's just now it's a matter of clearing the space of what's already there to fit that in, and then maybe fit those other things back. Because I don't know how large this thing will be compared to the rest of it. And the space is already kind of taken up by other stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out, what do I keep? What do I put away? I try to rotate this stuff all the time, but in this book it says build your own bad guy. It's like, but you gave me a minifig before. Why couldn't you do that again? I will admit, I do want to get all of the Master Builder Academy figures. There's only 4 of them, and I think I have 3? 4 yet. Anyways. But yeah, some of that stuff, I try to shuffle around, but it doesn't go as routinely as I'd like it to. If it was routine, then I would have gone through a whole bunch of Lego displays in the past year, up to this point. But that's not the case. The idea was that I'd have some of these displays available for, say, I don't know, 2 to 3 months, or just, it's really for whenever I'm tired of it, but they've been lasting longer than I wanted them to. I was tired of them a while ago. So eventually I'll get that worked out. Spiders in the tree. And then we've got this lock to put on, and we'd be done. Yeah, for some reason, the first one took me the longest to build. I don't know why. The rest of these were a little faster. And the second one, we're still missing a few parts. So I'm sure they're around somewhere. So before I link this up, here's kit 9. It has like this evil layer kind of feel to it. It has a sliding door in the front. Kind of a, I don't know if it's because of the pieces or how much I pressed them in or didn't press them in. Kind of a rough sliding back and forth. It's not as smooth, but also stays in place. So I guess that's good too. That's what I'm talking about for reviewing. Kind of like a large lava flow on the top of it. As you saw earlier, it's got this little button on the side so you can make it explode. And underneath there would be a chalice or a goblet, some kind of green stuff. I don't know, maybe it's a potion. As the idea is, you could also make your own story with these. As I was saying, there was a tree build to this. It has a similar technique that we saw before. And also a little bit more underneath for the dungeon area, keeping a figure locked up underneath here. Yeah, you can still walk through, but whatever. So, and a little bit of space behind there where you could move things around, you know, have a figure walk through this. And as I said, they also included this backpack as like a water spray to try to clear out the lava, I guess, theoretically. So yeah, we'll link all of this up together now. And as I said before, this tree is designed in a way so that it stretches across 2 of them. So when it has it side by side, now it looks like one bigger tree. It doesn't actually connect between them. It's not really... I probably could throw a piece behind there or something to lock them in place. But that's the idea, looking out at it. But it's all there. If you look up the set online, they'll probably show you the whole layout at once. Like that. And there we go. That's the ideas. Level 3. Adventure Designer. Got our guy here. A couple different backpacks with accessories. It's like Super Mario Sunshine in here. Especially one of them is a water gun. So yeah. But that's one large layout that can be used in my Halloween display. Don't know where exactly all of this is going to go yet. I know I have the table. I just don't know the order of it. But this by itself is almost as long as the table. Maybe a little bit more room on each side, but yeah. I imagine the haunted high school is probably going to be in the back and probably in its monster form. The graveyard probably closer to the front. This would maybe be in the middle or something. Height-wise, you know, so it's easier to see everything. I don't imagine it being like a village, trying to set it up like congruently. But yeah, there we have that. We got all that built. So 2 things out of the backlog, and then 2 things for a rebuild. That's not bad. And to give you a little bit more to look at, here's what the rest of the 3rd book looks like. Like all through here, they have these little tabs underneath talking about different things to build and, you know, adding on to it all through this book. And sometimes they'll give you like its own blurb on the side of it. So it's here, a reason for conflict. When designing a villain model, think about why your hero might be going there and include story building details to match. If your hero is trying to rescue somebody at a dungeon or a prison cell. If it's time for the big battle, give your villain an impressive throne or command center. If the hero is seeking an important item or treasure, put it on display under guard, or hide it away so it can't easily be found, like we saw before in the other 2 models. So yeah, tips like that all through here, just to have more fun with it. And then in the back of it, they show what they call springboard models. These are using the same pieces in different ways, kind of one picture for different things. This is kind of like the creator thing I was saying before, where it's like, oh, you could tear it apart and build other stuff out of it, build different animals or different landscapes. This one's kind of interesting for a trap floor, building it all sideways like that. Blacksmith forge looks basic but neat out of the parts. They do give you some instructions for these. Goblet cave, we see right there. This has a thing that kind of like swoops down, I guess. Let me look forward. Yeah, that's the idea, that it swoops down into there, or just kind of hangs in place. Oh no, it's made to move. Yeah, say move it back up. That's like an adventurer set. I remember a Shrine adventurer set being like that. We have a prison cell here, more advantage to the door that we saw earlier. Very basic, but still getting the idea across. Different thing to build out of it as its own model. I don't know if any of these can be built at the same time. It'd be great if they could, but I have a feeling they're probably not. Got a flame flinger. It's a large catapult or trebuchet. And here they call it a catapult. It's funny, I just did a thing about that not too long ago. Catapults. Flame flinger is similar to a type of counterweighted catapult, there we go, called a trebuchet, although the real thing held its ammunition in a sling rather than a bucket or scoop. There we go. Today I learned the difference of a trebuchet and a catapult. It has a counterweight. Oh yeah, and they also did have a section for Lego fan creations. These are ones actually made by people and published into the book. I don't know under what contest or, if there was some kind of way to submit this at the time. This light is really not helping here. I don't know if there's a way to submit this at the time, but it's fascinating. Especially this one right here, using the rock pieces upside down. I like that idea. Let's see if I can bring around to the other page. You see stuff all through there, all in different building techniques. You see this for building the hole, having a wide gap for it. Yeah, neat. Then they have some challenge at the end of it, because I think there was a thing on the Lego website in correspondence with these sets. I don't know much about it myself. Building bad guys. Let's see. Bad guy buildings. Those are impressive. I don't have the Vampire Castle either, but I'd like to get that one someday for the Monster Fighter theme. I'd get that over the Mad Scientist set again, because similar design, but this is much more impressive. I do have the Portal of Atlantis. That one's good. Very nice model. And then, yeah, fan creations about villain design models. And like I said, none of this is on a PDF in the Lego website. They don't have it for the whole book, or even parts of the book, I think. They have other Lego set ones in here. Some castle-oriented ones, some agents. Like I said, monster fighters down there. I got the vampire hearse. And I think I have the werewolf. That tree is cool. At least I have the figures. And then you got them written up here. And then the parts count. Ding. So yeah, they do that kind of stuff throughout each of these books for the Master Builder Academy. Tying it back into brainstorming, basically. A lot of ideas to, add more into your Lego creations. That's the premise of it. There are videos online about it if you wanted to see more about that, even on YouTube. Look up Lego Master Builder Academy. You'll probably find videos they made, just like the short, minute-long video about each of the kits, each of the levels, and kind of shows that. So yeah, that's all I got for now. I don't know when I'll do the part 2, if it's going to be today or sometime later. What I do, I will have more Halloween sets to add into the display. Not necessarily setting up the display, at least for now. And possibly the A-Fault Designer set. Showing that off. Do I have all the Monster Fighter sets? I do not. I have about half of them, I think. I have the Sea Creature, the Vampire Hearse, the Mummy, the Werewolf. That's 4 of them. Because I know I don't have the Haunted House, the Vampire Castle, the Zombies, and the Mad Scientist. That's the other 4. I have the Ghost Train. That's 5. Yeah. I don't know if I have all the Moonstones, just getting the pieces on their own. But probably almost all of them. I know I don't have the Zombies one. I couldn't even imagine trying to get that set nowadays. Because, first of all, this time of year, it's going to go up in value because it's Halloween. It's a Halloween themed set. And second, it's like, it's pretty old. Monster Fighters as a theme is like a couple years old now. 2014 or something, I think it came out. No, it must have been close to 2011 or 2012 if they were featured in the Master Builder Academy book. So, yeah, very, very long ago. Wow. And I believe it was an exclusive. It was like a Target exclusive or something. Originally $40, which wasn't that bad for what you got in there. But, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be hard to find it. I may set up some of these for now, made through a post, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, just of like, here's how it's going so far. And then we'll come back to it later, building other stuff. Not all of it's going to be in the same scale. That's just the nature of the beast. But it was still fun to build these. For now, I'm going to do some cleaning. Maybe I'll get the hidden side stuff going. If I find that other Halloween set, I don't know if I'm going to build that live here because I was going to do a review for it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Ghostbusters also coming up. If I wrote any of this stuff down, that'd be great. Yep. Got a lot of things to do. Supposed to be my day off, and yet I have a lot of stuff to do. That's just the nature of Joey, of Maniac for Bricks. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you to Wesley Meadows, Galligade, JB Brick Fanatic. I don't know if GRSAEKAR is still here. Thank you earlier, MC the Austrian Brick fan, and Sega for stopping in. I thought we had somebody else here way in the beginning of the chat. There was Angry Dragon 114. So yeah, have a good day, everyone. I'll talk to you later. Oh, and I'm also going to get that ideas video out soon. I just, a little bit more editing to that. It'll be a fun story to tell.